This is unbelievable. We said more and shorter, and it's got none and none. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Low Resolution Podcast, even lower than normal.
Oh, you've pressed record then. Back to that, are we? The cold open that we've now had for a while.
Oh, God. So, lots of exciting news. They've downgraded the web interface on Horizon Workrooms, it would appear.
Yep.
Nice low resolution. We look like 8-bit characters and you can't even read the text at the top.
Yep. Come on, let's go.
All going to plan.
I didn't know we were doing this yet, so let me get my machine connected.
Oh.
Oh no, it's just for notes. Brain
No.
doesn't work very well, so yeah, we were going to do one about the Meta Quest Pro because there was Oculus Day. What's it called yesterday?
Oculus Connect. Not Oculus. Nothing. Meta Connect.
Meta Connect, but not Connect like Xbox.
No.
Because they decided to finally reveal Project Cambria, and yeah, it's sleek. What are you doing?
I was just playing.
It's sleek. It's sleek and it's high powered and it's expensive and
super expensive. But we knew that.
But we could get a minor upgrade to our own headsets if we wanted to, and pay the same price we paid for our headset because we got it cheaper, and buy the cool new controllers, which we'll talk about in a bit more detail when Paul.
I guess. I'm feeling kind of deflated because of the low res downgrade.
It's fine. We got over 1,000 views on the podcast as well. Woo! So we should be upbeat.
Us. Well done, Ben. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Still not paying you for it. So, yeah, you can buy it pretty soon too, can't you?
You can. You can pre-order it. You can pre-order it now, and it comes out on the 25th. If you're in the UK, it won't be delivered to the 26th.
And it's from Argos or Currys, isn't it? Or can you get it direct?
Or them. You get it.
Oh, you can get it. Okay.
At the moment, you can't pre-order it with Argos or Currys or or Amazon, as it says.
Oh yeah, Amazon, yeah.
None of those have it. But you can pre-order it with Meta.
So I think the main
for the grand total. Well, let's get it out of the way.
Okay, elephant in room.
£1,499.99 is what I think.
The only good thing I'm going to say about that is that it's the same price as in the US, not more.
Oh yeah.
That's the only good thing I'm going to say about it.
That's because the Apple tax isn't on it.
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of rage online at that price.
I'll say,
but
just a little.
I think there's also a lot of misconception on what this device is. It's not the Quest 3, people.
Correct.
Because that would be called the Quest 3.
Yeah, this is not an upgrade from Quest 2. If you
it's an upgrade, but it's not. It's not your next one.
Yes. If you have a Quest 2 and you use it for playing games and blah blah blah,
carry on.
Just carry on, because that platform is still that is the main consumer platform. This device is not for you people. It is for people who want to do development work, wants to do business collaborational stuff, work in VR and need slightly better. I'm not going to say resolution, fidelity, because that's allegedly what it brings. And brings face tracking and eye tracking stuff for, I guess, I'm going to sound a bit, the word is wanky here, content creators, because you would be able to see me rolling my eyes now and going, which well, I'm guessing my mouth didn't do what I actually did in real life.
Blah, blah, blah,
blah. Exactly.
Well, yeah, the way I looked at it was if you think like to think about like a comparative product, not product, it's not a VR headset, but the same sort of scenario, I would say look at the Microsoft Surface devices. It's the same sort of thing. They cost a fortune, but they're intended for business. That's why they're a very specific device
Yeah,
for business users that or a specific set of users. So they charge more for it, but it is generally a more premium product as well.
that's true.
And that's just what this is. It's a
I,
shame that it's
I'll
that
be
much money because I can't afford that and I
I,
want one.
I'll be honest. I see it more as a more affordable HoloLens. So when HoloLens 2 came out, like
Hmm.
I really wanted to try that thing. Really wanted to try it. But do I have £3,500? No. So I ended up
Yeah.
not being able to do it. Now, this is a mixed reality device. Admittedly, it's pass through rather than lenses and all the rest of it, but it still gives you like 90%, I would guess, of that experience
Yeah.
for less than half that price.
Yeah. 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 True.
So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Also, everybody's raging about the price, and don't get me wrong, it is an expensive ass device. It really is.
Yep.
Like 1.5 grand is a lot of money. However, if I was to buy a 256 gig Quest 2 today,
Mm.
that's what?
400 quid. Yeah.
No, 256 gig
Oh,
one
oh,
is
that's
more. That's
500, isn't
500
it?
quid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you would then buy an Elite strap so that you've got a better head strap on it, that's 100 quid.
Yeah.
If you were going to buy the charging dock thing that you could plug it all into, that's 100 quid.
7.
Yeah. The posh controllers that are basically headsets that track themselves just in handsets.
We're now on a grand.
That's a grand.
Just hands.
And then on top of that, you've obviously got the fact that it has face tracking, it has eye tracking, and there was some, the better fidelity allegedly for working and reading in VR.
Yeah.
So it's whether you see that as value for what you do with it. For anybody that's just playing games or chatting with their mates, the value's not there. It just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah, it's met like you said, people going in and out of meetings when that because that is becoming bigger.
Yep.
That's why you get things like the charging dock you just mentioned. So you have a meeting, you take it off, you dock it.
Yep.
Which you don't like right now. I'm recording this with a cable connected right here, just in case we run for a while and then I suddenly disappear.
and that's a very good point though. They've people are raging about the battery. Well, okay, the battery is meant to be 1 to 2 hours. I'm guessing that is with the at this point because we've not used them, is with the face tracking and stuff on because I listened to John Carmack after the main event last night. John Carmack did his usual torrent of brain power or whatever it's called, and he said if you turn those off, then it's pretty much equivalent to a Quest 2, which is kind of what you'd expect, really.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, that 1 to 2 hours with all that stuff on is not an enormous amount of time. It's not your big 8-hour gaming sessions and all the rest of it. But that's, as you've just said, like I have my meeting, which meetings generally don't last much more than an hour or so.
Yeah.
Unless you work at a really terrible company. And then you take that off and you put it down. Or you're sat at a desk working like this, in which case, you can plug it in. Unfortunately, we're just at that point in like battery tech at the moment. Unless you're going to have like a car battery wedged to the back of your head, it's just not going to last longer, is it?
No. What RAM has this got that we're wearing? Do you know?
That's a good question.
Because it's obviously not 12, which is what that one's
yeah,
got.
that's got more. So yeah, they have said like part of Carmack's talk was he said, well, this can be a good thing. Like if you're developing quite a lot of development environments, like in the console world, like your developer kit has much more RAM than the actual consumer unit, so that you can get stuff working, and then you have to like compress it down.
Yeah.
So again, it's more business orientated on that front. Anybody who has a Quest 2 and was looking at this as to, I want to get this as the next one. Unfortunately, the thing Apple and everybody else has trained us to do, with bigger number, I need that.
Yeah.
Well, Meta didn't put a number on this one on purpose.
No,
I
they
think we'd
added the
say.
word Pro, which I think I don't
Well,
think we
Apple
did.
ruined that for every. Well, Apple, Sony, everybody else ruined
Yeah,
that.
I was going to say I don't know if because we briefly talked about this before, and I don't know if we've said it or whether we said it to each other. Where I think you specifically said that they've used the word Pro correctly, which a lot of
Yes.
companies don't. Because, like you
Yeah.
said, Apple just put Pro on it, and
Yeah.
it's not the same as
MacBook Pro, as in it's seen as the one you should get because if it doesn't have the word Pro on it, you're obviously some sort of second-class citizen. That's how most devices are sold like that now.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
but yeah, it does have a lot of features, even though it's a lot of money. Because I almost ended up, well, I started to see the negative side of Twitter last night, which I told you about briefly, because I made the mistake of responding to a tweet about this, saying that some people are already comparing it to the PSVR 2. Yeah, and I said you can't, because that is effectively, to dumb it down, a glorified screen on your head. Yes, it's got the controllers, but it's not doing the compute at all, really. So you can't compare it. And we don't know what that's going to cost anyway. That could come out at $1,000 and everyone will go ballistic.
A lot of people are comparing it to the Pico 4 as well, because that's obviously newer than the Quest 2. Although the Pico 4 is just a kind of a slightly better Quest. It's got a better design in the fact that it's got your battery around the back of your head and all the rest of it. But again, well, it's a competing platform for a start. They will no doubt be subsidizing it. Meta have caused their own issue. They've got great adoption in this space by subsidizing the Quest 2. Like the fact that they were selling it for 299 quid or $299 has just made people think that, well, that's what those headsets cost. But they were losing tons of money on that.
Well, that's it. I mean, you've already talked on early episodes about some of the headsets, and like the Vive, that costs a lot of money.
Like my first headset, I bought the first Vive, and that was what, $1,000 or so.
And you needed a PC.
And you needed a PC to run it. And I bought the Index, which the Index was, I think, 1,200 quid when it came out.
Man's got cash.
No, man doesn't get out much.
Man's got no friends.
I was going to say I've got one now, but because of VR. But anyway,
it's not me.
No, not you.
Oh, okay, good.
No. So like there are a lot of money, but like tech's new. That's how these things go as well. Like the chipset, like has got a plus on it. Like the chip is practically identical to the one in the Quest 2. Like it will not give you. They say up to 50% more performance, but that's not giving you anything in games or anything. In fact, the Pro headset doesn't do or can't do 120 hertz, which is an experimental feature in the Quest 2. It's not one that I've turned on because I know it will drain the battery even faster.
I don't think I did that either.
Yeah. Equally, the sort of applications that I'm using this for, I don't need the additional frame rate. Like I'm not playing first-person shooters. Like I do this. I stay in Workrooms and I play some VR golf because Walkabout Golf is the greatest game ever. But I literally bought the Quest 2 to use Workrooms because I had PC VR. I didn't need, like, I just couldn't use Workrooms without the Meta headset.
There's one thing we've not talked about. It's got your favorite thing.
Oh, go on.
Pancakes.
Oh, okay. You genuinely threw me then because I don't particularly like pancakes. But
what?
Well, I'll eat them.
Right. The Quest Pro. Let's sort this out.
Let's go for it.
What's this? What is this?
I will eat pancakes, but they are just a filler for bacon and maple syrup. Those two are the things that I actually want. I couldn't care less about the pancakes.
You just make the ratios different, don't you? You have 2 little pancakes, all the bacon,
and all the maple syrup.
And all the syrup.
That's fair enough. I'm back on board.
And I think I know normally you'd say it with waffles, but you can add chicken as well, fried chicken.
That's true.
Works.
Again, chicken and waffles. It's not the waffle I'm there for. It's the chicken, generally with bacon and maple syrup.
Yeah, maple bacon is good.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, pancake lenses.
Pancake lenses, so that the front of the headset, instead of being here, where my hands currently are, will be able to be closer to my face, so it doesn't drag down on my head as much as the Quest 2 does.
But still allow you to wear the glasses.
Yeah, I actually quite like the fact that it's open, like around the sides. There's no. They will sell you an extra facial interface, so you can do full VR, like blank out the rest of the world, or it comes with little magnetic flaps that you can put on to stop distractions from the outside. But it allows you to see what's like basically on your desk, because the device is intended for sitting at a desk generally, like where you've got your keyboard and whatever else you have on your mouse, I guess. And
so, are we saying that they're done away with Oculus Ring?
Pardon?
You know what I mean. Oculus Face.
Oh yeah, actually yes. Yeah, so Oculus Face is the is the big red mark you get around your face after you've been wearing the Quest for ages. I guess I guess they will. You'll have Meta forehead redness instead.
Meta head.
Meta head. Well, yeah.
We need to
no
coin
more
these
Oculus
terms.
Face. We need Meta head instead.
Yeah, trademarked. Come on,
Yep.
Zucker, buy it.
So yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I've just had a message. Nathan, no, not at the moment. Sorry, I'm in the middle of recording.
Oh God.
So,
do you think it's worth somebody considering the controllers based on what we know about them now? If you're like us with a 2 and you're thinking, I don't want to stump up all that money.
I will be perfectly honest. Because I work predominantly in here or in Walkabout Golf,
which is in here.
I don't like in here. I use hand tracking. That's how I would want to work. I wouldn't want to work using controllers.
Well, no, because like my right hand is on my mouse right now.
Well,
and if
exactly.
I've got a controller,
I expect hand tracking to be better in the new headset because the cameras are higher resolution. Plus, based on where they are placed, means that when your hands are closer to your body, it is much more likely that it will continue to see them, as opposed to now they're a bit. Sometimes you like if you're looking up and your hands.
Oh, I see what you mean. Things. Yeah.
And Walkabout Golf, you only need one controller.
Yeah, which is why, depending on which hand you use, it's like, oh yeah, need to replace the batteries in that one again.
Those controllers are only going to do the same level of battery, bloody 1 to 2 hours, would be my guess. Like the headset.
Yeah, whereas now we get way longer
because it's a freaking computer in there that's doing all its own calculations and in image processing. Like hence why it comes with a rechargeable dock thing. I guess that would be a downside to, like, if you want long sessions of gaming of any sort. Like it's only golf for me. But,
I'm not gonna lie.
I wouldn't buy them. I'll be honest, unless you're playing a game where you're regularly losing tracking because you're trying to move your hands around the back of your head.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see the point of buying them for the Quest 2.
Yeah. The full light blocker that you mentioned.
Yep.
Looks
50 quid.
Suspiciously like the silicone thing that you get for free with the Quest 2. That's just to stop you getting a bit sweaty on it.
Kind of, I think, but it's a magnetic cushioned interface, I think. But, like, yeah, exactly.
Instead of having to spend 3 seconds putting it on.
Well, it's the same as all companies, isn't it? They make the money on you buying extra accessories.
Yeah.
They couldn't possibly make it more expensive, the headset more expensive, so they want to then sell you every little bit and bob at the profit.
Yeah. It obviously does the audio like we have now, or do you have to buy these headphones?
I believe it does audio now, but
oh yeah, because it says tune out the background noise with the headphones. So that's more what it's for.
Yeah, and you can use any headphones with it. those are just because it has got a headphone socket on each side, and basically those in that it's an individual earpiece for each side, so it keeps you've got no wires trailing around you. Basically, they just plug in there and then go straight in your ears.
Yeah.
But
We're in the
again,
wrong.
it's another 50 quid on top of the
Yeah. And we're in the wrong business because the case made by Incase is 120 quid.
yeah.
For a case?
Although not available in the UK
Well,
for purchase. It would
stupid,
seem,
isn't it? So
apparently.
there'll be an Amazon Basics soon enough.
That's if you're going to take it anyway. That's assuming you're going to take that headset somewhere as your computing device. Like
Yeah.
the things I was actually really interested in yesterday, because firstly I knew what the device was going to look like because it'd all been leaked. I knew what the specs were going to be, other than the depth sensor. There's no depth sensor in it, which there was in the early leaks.
Hmm.
We knew what the price was going to be, even though most people scream and shout that they didn't. The one thing that I was super interested in was upgrades to Workrooms, which will allegedly give you multiple working screens, so you can do stuff in headset. It was the partnership with Microsoft, which is bringing basically the Office 365 or Microsoft 365 suite. So you've got the full productivity, you've got Teams integration, all of that stuff, which isn't here. That's like they've announced it. They haven't said any time when it's going to turn up. But I think it's a clever move on Microsoft and Meta's part on that side, because obviously there's rumors of Apple coming out with some device or other, which is supposed to be super expensive.
I was going to say, do you think this one's expensive?
Yeah. But what those two companies can't, they can't have Apple owning the next computing platform. They just can't. And Microsoft has been doing a fair amount of stuff with HoloLens and all the rest of it, but HoloLens has been far too expensive, and they're coming at it from the let's put augmented reality on top of, like, you're looking through at the real world, which that technology is still years off properly. And so Meta have made this headset which does it the other way around, which is where you get your pass-through camera, which is good enough to see where you are and what you're overlaying. And I think Microsoft have gone, well, actually, this gives us a good device that we're already working with the likes of Accenture and that side of things, using Quest 2s to do that stuff. Like, let's embrace this. Let's make sure we capture the business side of things, which is what Microsoft's very good at. Like Office, like the vast majority of big business uses Office and Windows and all the rest of it. Capture that to make sure we don't end up losing out completely or fighting one another. And Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, they seem to have realized that actually we're not going to be able to get all of this together, because firstly, businesses don't just trust us. People don't trust us. We haven't got a very good. So let's start bringing in, if we can get Microsoft on board, where they'll bring Active Directory in and that security side of things, then maybe we stand a chance of being taken more seriously in the business space. That's just my personal opinion.
No, I think you're right.
I'm excited because obviously we've been playing in this space for a while. I want to see that Teams integration. I know it's not very exciting for most people, like Teams, whatever. But when you spend the vast majority of your life on Teams calls and that sort of thing, like anything to introduce some life into it might be better.
Yes, instead of just everyone not having webcam on and muted and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I don't want people seeing into my, like, when I'm working from home, you put your camera on. Yes, you can blur out the background, but like, life goes on at home. Like, your other half gets home from work, your kids get back. Like, I don't want them seeing what's going on in the background.
What he's really admitting to here is that he joins meetings while he's having a poop.
Yeah, that's it. I would definitely do that with a VR headset on.
It'd make for an interesting experience when you can't see.
Yep, you nailed it. Anyway, all of that aside, and the fact that I'm excited from the business side of things, which makes me sound old and sad. The one thing you may have guessed, I've pre-ordered one because I'm a lunatic.
I didn't. This is news to me.
Oh right, okay. Well, I pre-ordered one as the thing was still going on, and I'd pre-ordered it. I've pre-ordered it mainly because I want you guys to see me pulling faces at Dave. That's basically it. That's the whole. As long
Wow.
as that works, like money well spent.
Wow. So, wait. Okay. So, right. Okay.
Like it's the dumbest reason possible.
Yeah.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
I'm quite happy with you not knowing what I'm doing.
Well, I have thought that as well, but you can turn it on and off.
You'll forget.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. But yeah, from that, like all of that is exciting to me.
Well, if we could get sponsored, might be able to get one.
Yeah.
Just have to not have one otherwise.
Like I really want to test out the the face tracking and the eye tracking stuff, and I want to see whether the fidelity is there so that you can read your screen better and it makes working in here a better experience. I want to be able, when I'm looking at my computer screen, my virtual computer screen, I want it to be not quite as fuzzy. Like I can see the edges of pixels in here as it stands. Now I know the resolution's not meant to be very much higher, or if at all, but they, according to them, because of those lenses and all the rest of it, it is supposed to be sharper. It's supposed to be better. And if it isn't, I'll be pissed, and you'll find that out. Equally, buying it from Meta, you can send it back within 30 days.
Hope, and yeah, I mean, this is nothing to do with the headset at all, but we're gonna have to figure out what the hell is going on because.
Oh yeah, with the ultimate low resolution capture business.
Yeah, so fair play if you're stuck with this and it looks shite. But
yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, just to digress slightly, we did try that Immersed.
Immersed, yeah.
And it's got a lot of good ideas, like you were just saying about the quality of the remote desktop.
Yep.
It's leagues ahead of this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, because it doesn't change my computer desktop resolution, which screws up all my windows, which Workrooms currently does.
Yeah, but the audio was well worse, and
yeah,
we couldn't get the camera working. So you were close to having a surprise, totally different location and environment, but instead you've got 8-bit Paul and Dave.
We might investigate some other software and see what's available. I still want a virtual studio piece of software, but if any of you know of anything, have looked at anything, leave us a comment. Let us know. We'll happily take a look at it.
We can ask that in the workroom on Friday as well.
We can. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I think that's probably it. There's a lot more detail out there. It wasn't really worth doing the same as every other YouTube VR person does and just go through all the bloody specs, and it's just not worth it.
No, we like to talk about pancakes and poop.
Yeah,
that's the title for the episode.
Amazing. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, despite the crappy resolution, please leave us a like, ring the ding bell,
subscribe, and if you if you want to be made aware when we do new content, ding bat it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll either be back somewhere else next time with better fidelity. That's the word of the day, fidelity. Or we'll have figured out what the hell they're doing here. But yeah, I think it's because they're preparing to have loads more people in a room. So I think they've compromised that quality.
Yeah. We can talk about workroom stuff another day.
Yeah.
Spaces and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.